is up, my sweet little garbanzo beans? Welcome to all of my little garbanzo beans out there who have South Node in Taurus. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful? So before we dive in, this reading is really, I wanted to kind of just talk about what this is here to cover and to look at. This reading is really looking at your South Node to get a feeling for a past life energy that's coming up in this lifetime. And really what your South Node is kind of pointing to in your natal chart is an energy that you've already mastered, and it's one that you are being asked to essentially detach from, and it's always oppositional to your North Node, right? Because North and South Nodes are always oppositional signs on the wheel of the zodiac. And so essentially what your North and South Node is asking you to do is to detach from your South Node and incorporate more energy of your North Node in order to achieve balance and internal harmony. Your South Node really is like I said, that point of detachment, but this is also, like I said, an energy you've mastered. So many people feel as if your South Node really points to a past life energy. Now, it's not necessarily indicative of your only past lives or your even your most major past lives, but it usually points to the past life that is most incorporated into this current lifetime. So excuse me. So I put out the Taurus card in order to kind of signify and symbolize everyone here who has their South Node in Taurus. And I just wanted to read this card really quick. This one, I don't know if you can see. There we go. It says earthy, practical, steadfast, productive, fertile, tactile, ample, worthy, ripe. Sorry, I don't know why that's making me laugh. Pleasure-seeking, sensuous, blooming, solid, possessive, tenacious, loyal, patient, and deliberate. Deliberate. Oh my gosh. So yes. What I was kind of picking up for this while I was preparing for this reading is that, when we think of Taurus, we kind of think of the second house a little bit. We think of our material well-being. It's, what I have, what I own, what I possess, but it's also what, gives feelings of security, what I value. And the thing I was picking up a lot with this particular reading as I was preparing and meditating on these themes is that if you have your South Node in Taurus, I really feel like, and you were drawn to this reading, what I really feel like Spirit wants to talk to you about, or that the themes that are coming through, really revolve around seeking out creature comforts, right? Which Taurus is kind of known for in general anyway. And I said this before with the Aries reading, so I'm going to say it again here with the Aries South Node reading, which is that this is in no way meant to throw shade at all. There are light and shadow attributes to every single zodiac sign. There are good things, there are positive things, and things that need a little bit of work. So this is in no way meant to be a criticism. This is meant to hopefully bring enlightenment, insight, validation, confirmation, etc. So yes, really like delving into that idea of having creature comforts, and that idea of I don't want to say a false sense of security, but that's kind of what I was picking up a little bit, is like what you value as secure, and really looking toward like how to have a healthy attachment with that, right? Yeah, so that's kind of just what I was like picking up when I was like meditating on this. So South Node in Taurus can talk about a bunch of different things as well. This could, Taurus is known for being very, as it says, sensuous, so very grounded in the physical, the physical world, physical senses. So Taurus energy is known for, in its shadow attributes, sometimes being a little a little too close to those creature comforts, you know, maybe too into good food, good drinks, shopping, you know, aesthetic, things like that. But the biggest one I was picking up for this in particular, this reading in particular, was really like that almost addiction to those creature comforts and trying to create some sense of security through those creature comforts. Excuse me. So I want to pull a past life card to kind of delve a little bit deeper. I'm going to link all of my decks in the description box below. And I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the reading, but if you're not sure about your South Node, I will leave a link in the description box where you can go generate a free natal chart reading. So that way you can get a better idea. This will work for either tropical or sidereal astrology, whichever you prefer. So that will be there in case you need it. So, yeah, anyway, let's pull you a past life card. See what we got. Let's dig a little bit deeper and see what Spirit wants to talk about. Oh, I think it's this. Nope, it's this one. It's this one. It's hiding. Okay. Okay, so you guys got trees. Look at that. Okay. All right, so I feel like this makes sense. So with trees coming out, again, we have a lot more earthy energy here. I feel like excuse me. What I'm really getting, sorry, I had to pause for a minute so I can kind of get this. What I'm picking up on, what I was really drawn to in this image, we see that we have the tree right here, and there's all the light coming through. I was really picking up on with this particular card, this slow-moving energy, which is very much an earth energy in general. Taurus is the only fixed earth sign, so this is very much like not only like slow and steady wins the race, but Taurus does things kind of on their own time. You know, again, only one of the only fixed earth sign energy, so it's very much like, nope, tried and true, like slow and steady wins the race. I'm going to take things at my own pace. So again, I do feel like this has to do with like creature comforts, being kind of almost addicted to those creature comforts. But I also feel like this is that, what I really feel like is that those creature comforts are kind of like a smokescreen to deal with, try to like work through some insecurities. And this is kind of what I'm picking up with this trees card, is that I was thinking about how slowly the trees grow, right? You know, being really grounded and building something over time. And I feel like this is an energy that that you probably embodied in a past life, being very dependable, taking your time, really wanting to cultivate material security. But if you notice too, the heavy tree cover makes it hard for the light to get through, right? Excuse me. It makes it hard for the sun to come through, right? So what I'm picking up on here essentially is that I feel like what Spirit wants to talk about is that there's this energy, and you might still find, because this is your South Node, and the South Node is kind of what, like I said, what you've mastered. So it might be what you kind of naturally default toward. You may find, if you have a Taurus South Node, that you really, really enjoy material things. You really enjoy building material stability. But you may also have these parts of your material world, including your physical body or how you physically present yourself, that it's like building that foundation for yourself is of quite a significant importance. And that's not a problem. It's not a bad thing, right? But to the point where I feel like sometimes it may eclipse your true self, again, with the sunlight struggling to get through, because the sun can represent, you know, who we really are at the soul, as well as our personal enlightenment. So what I feel like Spirit's really trying to kind of highlight here is this essentially, like being very comfortable with certain parts, like certain things that you own, certain trappings of your own identity, to the point where you may struggle at times to to be fully connected to your spiritual self, or to let that spiritual self manifest, right? Because this will put your North Node in Scorpio, right? So Scorpio is all about really diving deep. Scorpio is about, excuse me, you know, really looking at your emotional and your spiritual self, your emotional and your spiritual body. It's also all about, you know, change and transformation, and Taurus can kind of struggle with that a little bit. So this is also, to me, kind of talking about being very caught up in structures that have already been created, whether this is by your own hand or kind of what you've been like pushed into, right? So it may be very, very hard for you, especially once you get established with something, or once you've been like initiated into something. I don't necessarily mean that literally, although that could be the case. It could be very, very hard for you to extricate yourself, even when, you know, with all the sunlight coming through, even when you are enlightened and you are becoming aware of the fact that this might not be the best thing for you, or that you might want to change course. That may be something that's very, very hard to do, just because, you know, again, with that creature comforts kind of energy, you might be just very comfortable where you are. So let's pull y'all a numerology guidance card and dig a little deeper. Oh, yeah, exactly, right? Okay, so y'all got, I don't know if you can see, but y'all got effort. So this is funny because this is card 13, which in the tarot is the death card, which is the Scorpio card. Yes. I am sorry about the glare, by the way. Let me see if that helps. Yeah, there we go. I'm trying to mess around with the lighting. I live in an old house, so I do the best I can. Yes, okay, so with effort coming out here as well, this is exactly what we were talking about. Like we said, with this inertia, and it's so interesting because we have red and yellow, so this is root chakra energy and solar plexus chakra. So again, earthy, feeling grounded, secure, stable, and then solar plexus chakra, feeling confident, feeling enlightened, taking action, moving forward. So this is kind of like that interesting juxtaposition between staying grounded and feeling safe and secure where you are, and then taking action, moving forward, being bold, having confidence in yourself. And so this kind of, yeah, like I said, interplays with what we were talking about prior, where I feel like if you have, you know, your South Node in Taurus, there may be a lot of situations where when you are comfortable, especially the more activation energy it takes, the more effort and it takes to break that inertia, it might be very, very hard for you to get out of your comfort bubble. And I feel like for some of you, it's like, it feels like that for some of you, the way you set up your comfort bubble is like on your own terms, right? So it almost feels like, well, no, you know, I can leave this if I want. I can do something different if I want, but this is just the way I want it, right? Like kind of like Taurus energy, where it's like, nope, this is what I want. I don't want anything else. Like, I'm not settling for a single thing less. That kind of fixed earth energy, a little bit stubborn, very, you know, very set in what they want, very clear on their intentions more often than not, clear on their vision more often than not. So all of this to me is kind of talking, excuse me, I'm so sorry, about this struggle to make changes, this struggle to kind of grow out of your comfort zone. Especially the longer you've been in it, I feel like the harder it is to move forward. So I feel like you're very, very good at continuing on the path you're on. But when it comes time to have a big transformation, make a big change, that might be a very, very big struggling point for you as you learn to work with and incorporate your North Node energy. So let's pull some tarot and dig a little deeper. Whoa, okay. Yeah, so right. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm trying to shuffle on camera. I'm not great at it. So I do my best. It is hard though. Okay, so y'all got, and this is the Herbcrafter's tarot, by the way, that I'm going to link in the description box. But y'all got the Fool reversed. Look at that. It's a beautiful deck. I highly recommend it. Excuse me. Yeah, okay. You guys got the Devil reversed. Let me scoot these over here. actually. And you got, whoa, okay, you got the Chariot reversed. Interesting. That's so funny too, because I almost brought up Cancer energy. I was like, when we were talking about being in your comfort zone, because Cancerian energy can be kind of like that too, but it's just kind of expressed a little bit differently. So yes, we have the Fool reversed, the Devil reversed, and the Chariot reversed. These are 3 major arcanas, by the way, so this is a really big deal. This is a huge part of your life journey. Excuse me, is going to be really learning how to navigate your way through this. But we start with the Fool reversed, and this is exactly what we're talking about. The Fool is always the beginning of the major arcana's journey, right? And so this is always like being enthusiastic, right? Like you are optimistic about the future. You're enthusiastically charging forth, trusting in spirit, just being completely open to what comes your way. And that's pretty much not Taurus. I'm going to be honest. That's not what Taurus is known for. Taurus is not known for its adaptability factor. And so coupled with the Devil reversed, this is really talking about, this is really talking about this need to conquer this fear, right? Because the Devil always talks about, first of all, this can talk about past life and karmic issues. But the Devil, we have more more Earth energy, by the way. And it's really interesting that we have Capricorn and we have Cancer, which are opposites as well on the wheel of the zodiac. So what I'm kind of seeing here is that there is, when presented with new opportunities of the Fool, there is this call to really overcome this fear of change, right? Because that's really what's the meat of the issue behind the Devil. Everyone kind of thinks about the Devil as like this scary card, and it can be to a certain extent, but I think it's kind of misunderstood, because more often than not, our devils aren't these unfamiliar, scary demons that come for us in the dark. They're the things that, we love. They're the things we find comfort in. They're the things that we keep going back to because they're familiar, even when they're not helping us grow and they're not serving us and they're not really that good for us, right? She says up on her high horse, I'll get down lest the air be too thin. But what I kind of, I guess I'm seeing here is that there is this battle, right? Because the Chariot also talks about success. It's victory through, your will, right? And it's traditionally depicted with the charioteer, and they've got a mostly black sphinx with white accents, and then a mostly white sphinx with black accents, right? So I always think about this like your light and shadow sides. And so when I look at the Chariot, I see this as victory through, your own sheer force of will, but also through your self-mastery, right? Where you know yourself, backward and front, your shadow, your light, and you work with your strengths and weaknesses instead of fighting against them, right? It's very adaptable in its own right in order to achieve your goals. So all this together, what I'm kind of seeing is that this energy is really talking about this fear of taking this leap of faith, right? Of trusting in the universe, of really going, going on this journey. I feel like there's a lot of fear here because it's going to require a lot of effort, and it's going to require conquering this fear with the Devil, conquering, the creature comfort devil, so to speak, conquering the fear of being uncomfortable or of not feeling safe and secure. And with the Chariot reverse here, it's really going to require this conquering your shadow side, essentially. So let's pull you guys some more and kind of see how this might be playing out in your life. Or what else Spirit wants to say about it. This is card 2. Sorry, it's hard for me to shuffle on camera. Okay, let's go here. I think it goes here. Oh, it's this one, you guys. Bam. Okay. So, haha. Nice, I love it. Okay, so y'all have the 2 of Wands. You see that? Bee bomb. So cute. So the 2 of Wands. You have the 3 of Pentacles reversed. And then you have the Ace of Wands. Look at that. I don't know if you can see the writing on it. It won't really focus, will it? That's okay. I have focus issues too. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, we have the Two of Wands. And I think it's interesting that we have the Two of Wands and then we also have the Ace here. I really like the Two of Wands. I say this a lot in my, if you've ever gotten like a personal reading with me. In the traditional tarot, the Two of Wands, it depicts a man. He's standing at, I think it's a castle wall. And to his right, there is a wand that is bolted to the wall. I keep gesticulating a lot with my hands, by the way. Sorry, that's what the flapping is. There's a wand that's bolted to the wall. And he has a wand in his left hand. And in his right hand is this globe. And he's looking out over the castle wall and just really thinking. He's making his plans with the Two of Wands. This is what the Two of Wands is all about. It's all about needing to make plans and needing to make a choice, right? The twos in the tarot can speak a lot about decision making. So it's like deciding what path you are being spiritually called to move forward on. And the thing that I think is always really interesting about the Two of Wands is that I think it stands to reason that if you were, kind of like looking at the scene that's depicted in the card, right? If you pressed play on that scene and the man had to kind of choose in a moment and just like choose a wand and go, right? I think it stands to reason that he would probably, if he had to act in a moment, he'd grab the wand that's already in his hand and he'd go, right? And so to me, whenever I see the Two of Wands, this is like needing to make a decision, needing to pick a spiritual path, or needing to pick a path that is most in alignment with you at the soul. And there's always going to be something that seems more established, that seems more secure, that might feel more secure to you. But that's not the wand that's in your hand. Intuitively, you already know what to do. But there's something holding you back from taking that leap. And that's what I see here. And with the Three of Pentacles following it up, first of all, I think it's interesting we have a 1, 2, and a 3. So there is progression forward. But because they're out of order, I feel like sometimes it might feel like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's a little side note. But because we have the Three of Pentacles, this can talk about, this is like the teamwork makes the dream work card. But this is also, I feel like, this can talk about spiritual partnerships, but to me what I'm getting off of this is that there is this desire to move forward, but I feel like there is this fear to trust in spirit, whether this is trusting in spirit to, take that leap of faith on something that you want to do, or whether this is, struggling to trust spirit to trust other people, and kind of like trust other, because this is kind of like the spiritual partnership card, to trust other people that spirit brings your way. I will say Taurus is also kind of known for, like I said, being a little bit set in their ways. So maybe it's hard to kind of incorporate other people's ideas or to let other people help you, or to, and I don't feel like this is something where you don't appreciate what other people bring to the table, but it feels very much like this is my comfort zone and anything outside of that is fine, but anything inside of that I call the shots here. And again, it feels like it's about your material world around you, but it's really about the feelings of security is what I'm getting, and valuing feeling safe and secure. And so what I'm seeing here is that this might be impacting you in the sense that it makes it a little bit harder. I feel this hesitancy in pursuing this Ace of Wands, right? In pursuing this, taking this leap of faith, pursuing this path and taking this opportunity that Spirit is offering you. So there might be that hesitancy from time to time because it really requires trusting in the people and circumstances and situations that Spirit brings your way. So I'm going to actually just pull you guys a couple of cards of advice. Whoa. Oh, it's this one. That's one. Okay, let's see what we got. You guys got, oh, okay. This is the Two of Swords, and then, oh nice, okay, I'm having a brain blank, you guys, the Page of Pentacles, there we go, You see? Will it focus? Well, there we go. Okay. So what I'm getting from this in terms of advice is, A, with the Two of Swords, always utilize your intuition and don't be afraid to navigate from that. But B, to me, this is really talking about, you don't have to act all at once. That's the thing about like that kind of Taurus energy. It's slow moving, right? And I know that change can be hard for everybody, but especially when this is more of your comfort zone, change can be that much harder. And so what Spirit's really recommending is if you need time, you can always, you don't have to decide in the moment, right? You can approach things slowly, right? Because the Two of Swords is kind of a non-action card. And you can always like take things one step at a time. And I see this as well with the Page of Pentacles, right? Because this is like being at the beginning of the journey. And this is just very much like taking things one step at a time, really, and also being spiritually curious, right? Because the Page of Pentacles can be a spiritual seeker. So trying to be, pausing, knowing that you have time, taking things one step at a time, not feeling rushed to make all these changes all at once, not feeling too overwhelmed, and just to kind of like try to be curious, try to be open and interested in what you might learn, right? And I'm also hearing too with the Two of Swords to suspend automatic judgment of something, right? Like, so either, try to maybe steer away from saying like, oh, this is for me, that's not for me, I would never do this, things like that. It's trying to steer away from making definitive judgments and try to remain curious about the world around you. Because I feel like Spirit is trying to offer you a lot of opportunities. And with this Trees card as well too, these are things that might start small and then grow to be a lot larger. And it might just kind of create like this there can be a lot of, from small seedlings can come mighty oaks, or small acorns will come mighty oaks. I don't know, I'm not super good with plants, I'm going to be honest. So this is kind of just really, the advice from Spirit here is really just saying like, this is a big shift. We know this is hard. And you don't have to do it all at once, and you certainly don't have to do it alone. You can do it piece by piece. And if you approach the world with curiosity instead of fear, it really shifts your experience. So that is everything I am seeing here. It has been my honor and my delight to get to read for you. If you are interested in getting your own personal chart read, I offer natal chart readings. If you are interested in this type of a reading for your South Node specifically, please DM me. I'm happy to make custom readings. But other than that, I hope this has been helpful, and I'm wishing you all the best and the most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care, love bugs. Bye.